Alright, this is a creative writing tarot spread. I think it's more abstract than actually, like, to the point. But, for most people it will be. For others, it may be, a little bit of a self-discovery thing. So, pick whichever resonates. We have the black r.s.v.p pen. We have the gray marker pen gear, and we have the blue round stick by DIC. So pick whichever resonates, whichever color you like maybe, and we'll get started with the readings, and we'll see how it goes. Alright, so the r.s.v.p pen, we're going to put it right there on the screen. Let's see. What is your piece of writing about? What is this theme of the story? I feel like you don't really have one just yet, so don't worry about it. An ongoing problem will soon be resolved. Your level of stress, anxiety will ease. In the meantime, try not to worry about it. Relief is around the corner. So you could be, not really a writer, don't really know what to write about. You probably are just starting writing. So basically what you should do is draw inspiration from something that, usually is out of your wheelhouse and research it and discover what it's about. Or you can draw from your personal experience over a certain thing or a certain period in your life, current, past, maybe future things that you may face or that you're excited about, kind of like a diary or a journal. And once you start keeping a journal, like I say, you do draw inspiration and you kind of find your writing voice through that also. Okay, who is the story about and what is their backstory? Embracing differences. So, could be a lot of different things going on in this story, or just how you found your voice in writing to begin with. At times you may feel as though everyone around you is different to you. Learn to see differences as a more positive light. Diversity keeps life interesting. Embrace it. So this could be just how you see the world versus everybody else, how you draw ideas, how certain instances can be very different from how other people see it or how other people transverse it. It could also be different customs, different cultures, different things that maybe you're not used to, or maybe you're the one that's kind of on the outside looking in as far as a culture divide is concerned. So you may be drawing inspiration from that. What is an obstacle your protagonist must overcome? Let's see. A reflection. Reflection, looking back, you'll realize just how far you've come. Acknowledge what every single one of your experiences has helped you to get where you are. Served you in some way. That kind of thing. So you could be the protagonist in your own story, just so you can see your growth, how you've changed, how your beliefs changed, or how probably you've just day-to-day things have impacted your life. Like, if you meet somebody on the street and one day you start talking to them and you find out, hey, they're a writer, they've been doing this for a while, or they're a singer, or they do stuff, they could potentially become a mentor for you, or, just something that would cause reflection, probably on how you approach people or how you talk to people also, can be a bit of a reflection too. So, stuff to look at, stuff to examine about yourself. How do they overcome this point of reflection? Bewilderment. Bewilderment, maybe it took you by surprise. It's normal to feel a little bewildered by an unexpected outcome or a discovery. Know what you always equipped to deal with whatever happens, so relax and try to take life as it comes. So, yeah, it might have been a shock, it might have taken you off guard, depending on what you're discovering and what you're investigating about yourself. This is a bit of a self-discovery story, maybe, and just trying to find the path that leads to growth, to your true path, to just gaining some knowledge about yourself. It can be an adventure in and of itself. It could also be a bit of an investigation. So, once you find out exactly what event actually changed your life, it could take you actually by shock that it was such a small deed somebody did for you, and it changed your entire, prospect on life, or, your perspective on how life works or what's going on. So, anyway, let's move on to the number 5. How does this change them or your world, or the world around them? So with your character, you probably cheekiness. There's always room for a little cheekiness. It helps people lighten up and keeps life fun. Especially when you're trying to get somebody out of their shell. It's kind of, it could be a little bit off kilter. It could be a little bit of kind of hitting a sore spot for some, but you're trying to get a reaction, so cheekiness would be a good reaction, and actually, retracing your steps could be, you'll find out that maybe you said something that was out of character for you, that was a little bit, let's say cheeky. And that's what made somebody befriend you or open up to you, which is very interesting. How does the story end? Proceeding with care. Proceeding with care, you're moving in the right direction, but beware that you need to proceed with care. Consider each step carefully and avoid making impulsive decisions. So, don't try to falsify your own journey. But also, if there's hurt spots, you might want to discover exactly why it was kind of a sensitive subject for you way back when, or maybe why a lot of things bother you. So, it's something to look at. But proceeding with care is actually a form of putting a band-aid on a issue, or trying to divide an issue and conquer it. So whatever the case is, you kind of have to find a reason for why and the reaction, cause, stimulus, or cause and effect. That way you can be more forthcoming with information of why you do things or why you address issues directly or indirectly, if you're passive aggressive, or aggressive with some issues. So anyway, if you like this reading and it was a little bit inspirational, I think it kind of touched base with some issues, and maybe would help with self-discovery. Leave a like. If you like what I'm doing on YouTube, subscribe. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or, any other ideas for my channel, leave them in the comment section and I will read those. And as always, self-discovery doesn't always have to be like, oh, I'm going to do this, or, I'm this way or I'm that way about whatever on a Sunday. Self-discovery is an investigation about yourself. You're the main suspect, you're the main victim, you're the main character. So, whatever thing isolates you, you fear, what makes you stronger, the strangest songs can motivate you to do better at your job. People that are mentors to you, stuff like that. It's kind of like making a dossier about your life and writing about it. So if you do decide to do this, make sure that you cover all bases. From people that inspire you to things that you fear. It could be very comedic. Some ways people write about their own self. So try to find the humor in it, and try to address issues kind of like a therapist would, and it would help. Anyway, thank you, Pile 1, and I hope this was informational, and I hope this inspired you to write your own journal, book, whatever the case is. It clears up a lot of issues, and it addresses a lot of maybe writer's block. And thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Alright? Bye now. Alright, we have the gray pen gear. So, we'll see what's going on here. Alright. So, what is a piece of writing about? Doubt. Maybe you're doubting something in your own life. Maybe you're doubting a lot of your own beliefs. So doubt creeps into your minds to encourage us to reflect on choices that we're making. Use this time to question some of your ideas, beliefs. You will come out of this period with more direction and more force. So this could be like you doubt you can change, you doubt anybody will take your apology seriously. It could be very self-destructive also, looking at your self-destructive behaviors maybe, or some toxicity from your childhood that you've brought to the forefront of your adult life. So just looking at doubts, whether you can change, whether you can experience growth, whether certain things in your life will happen. That could be a form of something you can write about, or something you can journal about and try to find solutions to. Alright, who is this story about? What is the backstory? Wake up and get started. So if you have doubt that you can be a writer or whatever, wake up and get started. Because there's no right or wrong way to write. A journal, book, story, whatever the case. There might be some guidelines of how long it can be, though, but we'll get to that later. So, wake up and get started. Now is a great time to start new projects. Your mind will soon be filled with countless new ideas and possibilities. Wake up and embrace this time of action and progress. So, yeah, so you just have to get started. You can always edit. You can always write something a little bit more descriptive or more kind of Ivy League, if that makes sense, a little bit higher up from what you usually write, but it's all going to be done in the editing process, not when you initially pick up pen and paper. What is the obstacle your protagonist must overcome? Alarm. If there's something that sets off alarm with you recently, be sure to follow your instinct. You need to proceed with care. If it doesn't feel right for you, trust your intuition. Be prepared to change your plans. So it's, it could be a murder mystery. It could be just a mystery in your life to begin with. Because your intuition is your soul trying to stop you from doing something. So you do have to, kind of tune into that stuff sometimes. Then we have, how do you overcome this? Alarm, sense of alarm. To take action. It's, to take action. It's time to take action if you're able to achieve a great deal if you act on ideas and thoughts that recently come to you. Approach life with confidence and determination. Nothing can stop you. So if you're drawing your own conclusions to a situation, or you're drawing attention to a situation, it will become something that's openly talked about, or addressed, or you'll hear many sides of the story, and it will be open to the community. Maybe it will become more of a political issue instead of a write a prompt and just put it in front of somebody. So you never know. Your writing can take you a lot of places. And then we have, how does this change them, or your world, or their world? Friendship. An unlikely friendship is about to blossom and will bring unexpected laughter, joy into your life. Be open to meeting new people, and remember, just be yourself. So, this may be under a political issue, or it might be something that clubs talk about, or there might be a club that actually talks about these issues for the community, or some kind of like Toast Club. They have the Toastmasters meetings and stuff where you debate about issues and you talk about issues and see it from many different perspectives. So you might want to go to one of those things, or meet some people that do that kind of stuff, so you can become a better speaker, so you can address your issues better, or address concerns that you may have, and be more of a triple threat instead of just a person that decided to write a paper. So there's a lot of stuff going on with that. How does this story end for this sequence? Take a closer look. Take a closer look at this situation before you decide how to act. Things may not be exactly as first appeared. So, yes, with this, maybe some self-investigation would be necessary when it finally comes to terms with the issues. Um, Notice that every time you watch The Wizard of Oz, you seem to always be drawn to the man behind the curtain. A lot of issues, a lot of things that are brought to the table um, are meant to stir a lot in a crowd or amongst people, or, cause a reaction with the community. So you do have to find out why and who is doing this probably before you address an issue that may have been a hoax the whole time, or it could have just been to rile people up about one thing while something else is being done behind the scenes, which seems to happen a lot with certain people that are higher up in, well, let's just say that they might have more money than the rest of us. They might be pulling the strings, as they say. So just be careful. Anyway, group 2, if you like this reading, leave a like. If you like what I'm doing on here, subscribe. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or ideas for my next video, leave them in the comment section below. And I do believe that if you have doubt right now and you're kind of scared to address an issue, it may be a bigger issue than you can just handle, and that might be part of your roadblock. But addressing the issue does address a lot of other things too. It's going to be a domino effect if you do decide to take action. Just be ready for the backlash. Writing something that is controversial will come back and probably cause a lot of enemies, probably some unforeseen ones. So just be careful, and thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. And if you're writing controversial things, just be ready. Alright, in group 2, I will see you in the next video. Bye now. Alright, this is the blue pen group, the round stick. So, let's see. What is your piece of writing about? What is the theme of the story? Control. Trying to let go of control and see where the river takes you. You will still end up where you need to be, only the journey is much easier. So if you're like the type of person that's, you kind of want to write like a really good story, or you want to get somewhere fast, or you want to be more studious, the fact is that sometimes where you need to be will happen by amusing accident, where where you might have not thought it would take you in the first place. And sometimes it's not as out of reach as you think. Mostly people that work in certain areas that you want to get into are literally in the same, community as you, or in the same ice cream shop that you frequent. And just by talking to somebody while you wait, could bring a conversation up that actually is more advisable than anything else. So you might want to just try to take a different approach on how you usually handle things or talk to people, or just ask questions. Okay? Who is the story about and what is their backstories? Stretch yourself. You are capable of so much more than you believe. Challenge yourself to make the best of what you can be. Dare to push the limits. Discover your true potential. So you could be really just like side characters in your own life, and this could be time to step up and actually experiencing things firsthand. Maybe you're not supposed to be a receptionist your entire life. Maybe you can run your own business, or you could be a journalist or a cartoon artist, or whatever your dreams were as a kid. You can potentially achieve that. Maybe you don't want to be the same as everybody else, and you want to break free of the cycle. So whatever that is, or whatever that means to you, write about it, believe it, and do it. So what is the obstacle in your protagonist that must be overcome? Let's see. Tenderness. Because maybe you're a little bit too kind of brash, kind of like aggressive with how you go for things or talk to people, or maybe you feel a sense of entitlement. Tenderness. Someone in your life is in need of some tender, loving care. Take some time out and spend time with that person. Listen to what they have to say with compassion in your heart. You too will benefit from these moments of tenderness. Like I said, you might need to slow down and just look around. Find out what's going on. Find out a little bit about your family history, about people that you're around, maybe friends, maybe a few people that you may have talked to in passing, and learn a little bit more. Alright, how does your protagonist overcome this, or, achieve this? Let's see. Openness. Welcome new opportunities into your life. With open arms, there is no need to fear. You are ready to learn something new. Go out, explore your options with an open heart and an open mind. So, like I said, you never know who you're going to meet. Just by you talking to people, being a little bit open, you don't have to tell your life story to anybody. But you can just say a friendly hello, how's your day going, what are your weekend plans, kind of thing. Have you ever done this, or have you ever, thought about doing this, because you seem to be very whatever. Kind of, just learning about people and just having an idea. Just be more of kind of quirky, but kind of advisable at the same time. Some people just, they have that spark where they have the gift of gab, and the other people kind of had to, kind of fool themselves into thinking. But, yeah, the art of conversation would be a good one for this group. It would open you up to a lot more opportunities